Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. I'm a CDL advisor here for TransTech CDL Driving School here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And if you've ever thought about getting your CDL and starting a trucking career in 2025, this video is for you. So stay tuned for the whole thing. I'm breaking down everything you need to know, step by step, from eligibility and training to passing your test and landing that first job, making great money in 2025. So the process has changed a bit over the past couple of years, especially with new FMCSA rules, ELDT requirements, and training options that can either save you thousands or cost you big time if you don't know what you're signing up for. So stick around until the end because I'll cover how long it really takes, how much it costs, mistakes to avoid, and how to choose the best CDL school in your area. So let's get started. Before anything else, you need to know what a CDL actually is. So CDL stands for Commercial Driver's License and is your legal permission to operate large or heavy commercial vehicles like tractor trailers, buses, or tankers. So there's three main classifications of CDLs. First up, we have your Class A CDL. It's for combination vehicles over 26,000 pounds, 26,001 pounds if you want to be technical, your standard 18-wheeler or semi-truck setup. Think those big 18-wheelers, hotshot trucks carrying vehicles, that kind of thing. Second up, we have your Class B CDL. So this is for straight trucks, box trucks, dump trucks, and some buses. For Class C, this is for smaller vehicles that carry passengers or hazardous materials. Most drivers go for Class A since it gives you the most flexibility and the highest earning potential. Before applying, you actually want to make sure you actually qualify to get a CDL. So in 2025, the federal requirements are pretty straightforward. You must be at least 18 years old to drive within your state. You have to be 21 years old to drive across state lines or haul hazardous materials. And you also need a valid driver's license, a clean driving record, and the ability to pass a DOT medical exam. So your medical exam is done by a certified medical examiner on the FMCSA's list. They'll check your vision, hearing, blood pressure, and general health to make sure it's safe for you to drive professionally. If you have conditions like diabetes or sleep apnea, it doesn't always disqualify you, but you might need extra documentation or monitoring. Once you pass your physical, the examiner will give you a medical examiner certificate, also known as your DOT medical card. You're going to keep this with you whenever you're driving a commercial vehicle, and it usually needs to be renewed every 2 years. Without this card, you can't keep or get your CDL, so do not skip this step. Before you can drive any commercial vehicle with an instructor, you need your Commercial's Learner Permit or CLP. So here's how that works in 2025. So you go to your local DMV or Department of Motor Vehicles, bring your driver's license, DOT medical card, proof of residency, and sometimes it's good to bring your social security card. You're going to take and pass written knowledge tests on topics like general knowledge, air brakes, combination vehicles for your Class A. You're going to pay your permit fee, which is usually $25 to $100 depending on the state. And then once you pass, you get that CDL permit, which lets you practice driving a commercial vehicle only with a licensed CDL instructor sitting next to you. That's valid for about 180 days in most states. You'll need to hold it for at least 14 days before you can take your road skills test. So, as of February 2022, the FMCSA requires all new CDL applicants to complete the entry-level driver training from an approved training provider. This is one of the biggest changes to the process and is still catching people off guard in 2025. The ELDT includes classroom or online theory training on topics like vehicle operation, safety, and federal regulations. Behind the wheel training as well, either on a driving range or on public roads. Your school or trainer must be listed on the FMCSA training provider registry. Without that, you can't even schedule your road test. This training ensures every new driver meets the same minimum federal standards no matter where you train at. Now, this is one of the biggest decisions you'll make, where a lot of people either save or waste thousands of dollars. You've got three main paths to complete all of that training and get your CDL. First up, we have private CDL schools. So you're going to pay up front. typically between $5,000 and $8,000 for 4 to 8 weeks of full-time training, and then you're free to work for any company once you graduate. This is great for flexibility and all the job options. Number 2 is a company-sponsored program. The company pays for your training in exchange for a work commitment. This usually lasts 1 or 2 years. The training may be free or cost less, but you'll owe time or money if you quit early. This is great for people who are short on cash and want guaranteed job placement. And then number 3, we have community colleges or workforce programs. Sometimes cheaper, these are often backed by local funding or state grants. These are slower paced, think 16 weeks to complete your training, but are usually high quality. So, big things to look out for is to make sure the program is ELDT certified, provides behind the wheel time, and has solid job placement rate. Once you're enrolled, you'll start getting real time behind the wheel. This includes pre-trip inspections, shifting through the gears, backing maneuvers including straight, offset, and alley dock, and then on-the-road driving. Your instructor will sign off on those hours and your progress, and don't rush this part. Mastering these skills makes your road test so much easier and keeps you safe once you're solo. Use this time to ask every question you can and try to drive in all weather conditions if possible, because that builds real-world confidence. Once your instructor feels you're ready, it's time to take the CDL skills test at an authorized testing site or at the DMV. This test has 3 parts. So first is going to be that pre-trip inspection. You must name and explain every part of the vehicle and what you're checking for. Number 2 is your basic control test. This is backing, turning, parking, showing full control at low speed. And then third is your road test. So this is driving on actual streets, following all traffic laws, signaling, shifting, and maneuvering safety. Every state's version is slightly different, but if you're trained properly, you will be ready for this. If you pass, congratulations, you finally get your commercial driver's license. Now, depending on what kind of trucking job you want, you might need endorsements on your CDL. These are extra certifications that expand what you're allowed to drive. Examples include T, which is double and triple trailers, P for passenger, N for tanker, H for hazmat, X for tanker and hazmat combo. Each requires passing another written test, and the hazmat endorsement also needs a TSA background check and fingerprints. Even if you don't need them right away, it's often smart to get them early to open more job doors. Once you've got that CDL license in hand, it's time to start making money. The best path depends on your goals. If you went through a company-sponsored program, you'll likely start with that company right away. If you paid your own way, you can apply anywhere, from big carriers like Swift, Schneider, Warner, to regional outfits, and even local delivery jobs. Entry-level pay in 2025 averages around $55,000 to $70,000 per year, depending on the region, equipment type, and route. Long-haul, on-the-road jobs tend to pay more, while local routes offer more home time. Many of these companies nowadays offer sign-on bonuses, tuition reimbursement, and even paid orientation weeks to help you transition into your new career quickly. Now, once you've got your CDL, you need to keep that thing valid. That means renewing your medical card every 2 years or sooner, depending on your health requirements, avoiding serious traffic violations, which can suspend or downgrade your CDL, keeping your endorsements up to date, and always notifying your employer or DMV if your medical status changes. If you let your license lapse, you might have to retest, so stay on top of those renewals. Now here's some bonus tips for you guys. Let's go over a few mistakes that cost new drivers time and money. Number 1 is picking the wrong school. Always check reviews, placement rates, and if they're on the FMCSA registry. Number 2 is skipping the fine print and company contracts. Some free CDL programs charge you thousands if you leave early, so make sure you read that thing all the way through and know what you're getting yourself into. And number 3 is not practicing enough backing. Most test failures come from backing errors, so take every chance you can to practice. Number 4 is failing to study endorsements early. Waiting too long can delay higher paying jobs. And number 5 is not networking. So talking to current drivers, recruiters, instructors, Those relationships can help you land high quality jobs. So here's the reality check, how long it takes. So most new drivers can go from 0 to CDL in about 6 to 10 weeks, depending on the program and your availability. My school will help you get your CDL in 4 weeks. Now, company programs are typically faster and more structured, and community college routes can take longer but have smaller classes and better instructor attention. It's not instant, but it's one of the fastest paths to a stable, well-paying career without needing a degree. So there you have it. That's the step-by-step process to get your CDL in 2025. It might sound like a lot, but once you get started, each step leads naturally into the next. If you stay focused, ask questions, and commit to the process, you could be on the road to earning a solid paycheck within 4 weeks. If this video helped you out, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more CDL content. Also, drop a comment below where you're from and which CDL class you're going for. I love hearing your guys' stories. And if you want me to make a full video comparing company-sponsored versus private CDL schools, let me know as well. I can make that for you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.